The Honorable Union Minister for IT and Railways, Shri Ashwini Vaishnav ji, set a truly powerful precedent. The energy was palpable, especially when Ashwini Vaishnav sir affectionately suggested that Vishakhapatnam's rapid technological accent might soon earn its a new title of AI Patnam. While the official maps might not change today, that brilliant vision for perfectly captures the spirit of what we are building here. The vision shared this morning is not just the beginning of a physical infrastructure project, but a profound testament to our shared ambition for India's technological future. Vizag is rapidly transforming into digital gateway of tomorrow.
Absolutely, Rajat. With the groundbreaking successfully marking a new chapter, we reconvene this afternoon to celebrate this strategic partnership with the government and our esteemed industry partners as we continue to build this valued AI ecosystem. Today's conclave will feature 4 panel dialogues and 3 keynotes. Midway through, we will break for refreshments and conclude with a networking dinner at 6:30 p.m. this evening.
Super. To formally inaugurate this afternoon's proceedings, it is my honor to invite Mr. Bhaskar, Secretary for Information Technology, Electronics and Communication, Government of Andhra Pradesh. Do we have Bhaskar sir with us? No? We are moving to the next one? Okay, no worries. As we explore the frontiers, the collaboration between global innovators and visionary leaders becoming immensely important. To share the vision of the American India Connect initiative, it is my pleasure to welcome Bikash, Vice President, Google Global Infrastructure, to the stage. Bikash, please.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here with all of you today. Honorable IT Minister Sri Nara Lokesh, government officials, esteemed partners, Googlers, and many friends, many new ones that I met in my multiple trip to Andhra Pradesh over the last 15 months. We have a new home, and we are here to be a really great neighbor for all of you. It's a real pleasure to be back in this beautiful, beautiful city. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to the Bharat AI Shakti Conclave. What a very exciting morning today where we had the groundbreaking of the Google India AI Hub. I truly believe it was an extraordinary moment for Google, I think for the state of Andhra Pradesh, for Vizag, and of course, India. We're really committed to becoming a long-term partner and catalyst for India's economic and environmental resilience. You know, it's truly an extraordinary time that we're all living in. We are middle of this intelligence revolution that is happening all around us. It is one of those changes where it is hard to really understand when we're living it every single day, but it is one where most of us, when we look back 10 years from now, will be very proud that we were in small ways part of that, and hopefully in a big ways in making Andhra and India the center of the revolution that is happening worldwide. Generative AI itself is not just the cutting edge of technology. It requires massive step function increase in our infrastructure requirements. And we have gone through the step function changes in the way that technology has evolved over the last several decades. You know, it all started with the internet era, where we really started living our life differently. You know, today, it is very hard to imagine when there was a day where you could not really search Google because it did not exist. From that, we have come a long, long, long way where it is so integral. Digital living is so integral to the part of everything that we do. That led to streaming era, where streaming video became part of our everyday life again. I try to explain to my son, who is now in college, how life was before YouTube or Instagram, and he does not understand how that life was. But it took enormous amount of technology and step function changes in infrastructure for us to get there. The next was the cloud era. Now, in cloud era, in some ways, we really figured out how to run our applications and services in a centralized infrastructure, and data center became part of it. Now, oftentimes when we think of data centers, we think of them as the structure that sits in the middle of, as we just visited today, in a beautiful field, hosting a lot of computers, but that's not what data centers really are. They are literally the nerve centers, the engine room of the digital lives that we live every single day. And we think of them as absolutely fundamentally critical to the changes that we have seen in technology so far, and the more changes that are coming our way with this intelligence revolution that is going on. Just to give you a context, if you just think of the models that we run, Gemini is our own model, and there are similar models that are built by many of our peer companies. These models are improving, or call it growing in complexity at least 10x every year. And that pace is only increasing, it's not reducing. So, building these models require an incredible amount of infrastructure. And this infrastructure comes in the form of, obviously, the chips that over which these models are built, but it also comes with the data center in which these chips are placed, the network that connects these chips. And end of the day, these models are only as good as the applications that are run on top of these models. And those applications only are as good as the users and the customers that get to use them in a way that is extremely high quality, extremely resilient, extremely high performant, and frankly, delivers answers at the speed of thought. That's ultimately what intelligence revolution is. How do we really produce these tokens and these answers from these chips, the infrastructures, the system, the data centers, and the ecosystems that ultimately produces intelligence for us at the speed of thought. And that's really what we're after. Vizag is going to be right at the center of it when it comes to AI in India. This is the nerve center that we're building for the country, and we're incredibly, incredibly excited about what is possible because of this absolutely cutting-edge data center and chips that we're going to bring, that we're building right in the middle of Vizag. It's a vision. It's a vision that we jointly built over last year and a half. I remember our first meeting with Honorable Minister Nara Lokesh right here. It was the next room, I believe, where we had a concept that India is going to be at the center of the AI revolution that is happening. It has enormous opportunities and enormous strengths in really leading the AI revolution. Vizag seems to be the absolute perfect place to lead this AI revolution, not just for India, but for Asia-Pac to become a global hub that we can interconnect. And remember I said, these AI hubs are the nerve centers, and a key part of the nerve centers are the connectivity that these nerve centers have. These are the network that we built. So our vision was always to connect Vizag not only as the hub for the AI revolution that we believe India is right at the beginning of, but also the nerve center for connectivity across the world. And with that, we built this concept of America-India Connect. It is one of the most extensive network infrastructure build that has happened within the country. But most importantly, with all of this connectivity that India had, India's international connectivity has been concentrated really into two subsea landing points. They're Chennai and Mumbai. And if you look at how these submarine cables have been built in the past, they're vulnerable to a lot of geopolitical and natural risks. Vizag is the third and possibly the most robustly connected international gateway that India will ever have, at least till date. And we're directly connecting Vizag to Australia, and via Australia to the western coast of the United States, to Middle East and Europe, to the south of Africa, continuing along the coast to Europe and United States, and to the rest of Asia. And we're building these routes where we really got inspired by the historical trade routes that were used for maritime connectivity of the new world, quote unquote, to India. And we're really leveraging those trade routes to now build what is the digital highways, the digital superhighways for these AI gateways. So you have the nerve centers, you have the nervous system, and then you have connectivity to the rest of the world that comes from that. We are deeply, deeply grateful for the partnership with the state of Andhra Pradesh. It has been incredible. The government of India, the sponsorship that we received all the way from the Prime Minister, the IT Minister, and the Finance Minister in making this real, but also our partners, Adani Connects and Airtel Nextra. Without that, it would have been impossible to come to the place where we are, the groundbreaking that we did. And the Honorable Chief Minister made us all promise that by 15th August 2028, we're going to serve the citizens of India and the citizens of Andhra Pradesh from this AI hub. So it's a challenge that we're all taking. It's a little nerve-wracking, but I think if any team can do it, it's this partnership that we have built here and the place where we're building this. So looking forward to opening of the data center in August 15, 2028. These data centers, sorry, I missed the slide. This AI hub will have profound ripple effects and a new scale of benefits across the broader supplier ecosystem, including here in India. Economic modeling by Access Partnership projects that this AI data city's cumulative value-added contribution to India's GDP would be US $6.8 trillion between 2027 and 2047. And it's going to support directly or indirectly more than 39 million jobs by 2047. This AI hub is also expected to benefit the ecosystems in other ways. Having access to massive compute power is absolutely fundamental to building the new sets of applications or products or companies that are going to get built. It is very, very, very hard for the startup ecosystem to blossom till they have high performance, low latency compute that is accessible to them all the time. And that often triggers it has the catalytic effect in building an industry that we have seen over and over again in places that we have gone to. For example, before Google went to Ireland, Ireland had very little tech ecosystem. If you look at Dublin today, Dublin matches Bay Area in terms of the innovation and ecosystem that has been built. It has been true in Finland. It has been true in Netherlands. So we're expecting the exact same network effect, if you may, to happen as we come to Andhra Pradesh and build a very rich ecosystem that happens over there in terms of R&D and the fundamental innovations that are now possible. And then, the other bit that is very interesting as we build this data center is the supply chain that ultimately backs it. When we think of data center, we often think of the compute that goes in. But imagine the solar and the wind plants that are powering this data center. Imagine the transformers that are getting manufactured. Imagine the chillers that are going to get manufactured here. Imagine the servers and the systems that are going to get built. We believe very strongly in order to build that speed and scale and complexity that AI needs, it is super important to build the ecosystem around this AI hub. There is no other way to really deliver at the speed at which we are planning to deliver, and that specifically calls for a supply chain that is exceptionally resilient, flexible, innovative, deeply collaborative, and as much local as possible. This is the only way we can make good to the promise of making this AI hub the center of the AI revolution that India is going through, and frankly support Viksit Bharat in 2047. Transactional relationships, frankly, does not work, because in this world, we are going to invent and reinvent things every single day. When we are talking about AI hub, this is some of the most cutting-edge technology, all the way from construction to cooling to electrical delivery to networking to compute, that we're going to host in here. This is going to be one of the most advanced infrastructure that not only Google has, but anyone has built anywhere in the world. And when we build that, we only can build that by innovating with our partners. It is not possible for any one company or any one organization to develop everything that is needed for this data center. So we are a big believer of strategic partnerships, as you are seeing, we are already doing in the way that we're building this data center. But it is all about co-architecting the solution that we ultimately need for this AI hubs to finally work. In conclusion, I think the AI revolution is truly India's moment. As we heard from the Honorable Chief Minister in this morning's groundbreaking, that India sees the moment when it was before Y2K, when software services were getting outsourced. And that developed as an industry that did not exist in India. And it has been an enormous growth story for India. I think we are in the next step function change for the country, where India has the talent, India has the ability to develop the technology, it has the history of building applications and services around new capabilities that get delivered. And now, with our AI hub, it will have a very rich ecosystem that is built around the absolute cutting edge capabilities that exist anywhere in the world. And really, the reward that we're all seeking is an India where it doesn't just participate in the AI revolution, it leads it. I truly believe that it is absolutely India's time. We truly believe that we're investing into what will be possibly one of the biggest acceleration for Viksit Bharat. We also believe that this AI hub gives us opportunities to build an ecosystem where Andhra Pradesh should be right at the center of, or the connected tissue that brings the very deep supply chain that you have in this technology stack and the AI hub in and around Andhra Pradesh, and really develops a new set of supply chain and ecosystem that are both resilient and ready for the future that we're all going to build together. So with that, I'm super excited to build with all of you, and super excited to deliver the absolute market-leading AI for India, by India, for India, as well as for the rest of the world. Thank you all very much, and really appreciate you all coming in to the convention today. Take care.
Thank you, Bikash, for sharing the critical role of international partnerships in building a future-ready AI ecosystem. The AI Data City Initiative represents more than just infrastructure. It represents a commitment to the future of Visakhapatnam's digital economy. I now request Mr. Bhaskar, Secretary for IT, Electronics and Communications, Government of Andhra Pradesh, to set the agenda for the session. We request you, sir, to please join us on stage for the formal welcome address and the formal invocation of this forum. Mr. Bhaskar, please.
Respected Honorable Minister, Shri Nara Lokesh Garu, Minister for HRD IT, Government of Andhra Pradesh, distinguished leaders from Google Cloud and Google Global Infrastructure, industry captains, senior government officials, particularly partners, Airtel Nextra, Adani, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to all of you to this beautiful city of Vizag. In fact, today is I think the city of Vizag will remember today for days to come. So earlier we used to remember the day for Hyderabad city when our Honorable Chief Minister brought Microsoft. That particular historic moment actually changed the face of the city. Hyderabad used to be a very sleepy, old town, with, very kind of a relaxed kind of a environment from which it became one of the major players in the tech industry of the world. That change happened over a period of around 25 to 30 years. And we expect that thing to happen in Vizag in a time, 1/3 of that time, both because of technology and since we are doing it the second time, I think, under the leadership of our Chief Minister, we are hopeful that we can do that. And today's historic moment, we're all gathered here not only to discuss about Google AI, not also about artificial intelligence, but also look at the ecosystem that we are building, all the partners together. On behalf of the Government of Andhra Pradesh, I extend a special welcome to Honorable Minister Sri Nara Lokesh Garu. So one word I would say that when everybody is talking about ease of doing business, he started talking about speed of doing business. I'll let out a secret with his permission. So a lot of people think that, we sit and discuss for hours together on deciding things and all. No, it's a one WhatsApp message from him says that he doesn't even say okay, just K. That means it's done. So with one letter, we have cleared multi-billion-dollar deals. In fact, the Google deal of, the $15 billion deal and the investment size and all was done very quickly because, I extend my, thanks to him because he has put that kind of confidence in us, in our team, that he just says that you go and do it, the government is behind you. So every decision we take, we might be taking some wrong decisions. We are all human beings. We bungle up sometimes, but I have that kind of support from my minister and my chief minister who tells me, please go and do it. You might do some mistakes, but that's okay. So, but take decisions and move forward in life so that we do. So with Lokesh sir, we talk about speed of doing business. Why should it take so much of time to decide on certain things which we can do over a very small period of time? We remember he decides things on a cup of coffee. He decides things on one lunch and dinner. I think this whole Google thing has happened over one small 1 hour interaction. This is a kind of a thing. So I extend my thanks to him. And Google Cloud and Google Global Infrastructure, thanks to you for believing us in us in Andhra Pradesh and also the city of Vizag. Now Vizag, as I said, VIZAZ, Z is now Google. Hopefully it remains the same till some other big company comes into Vizag, but you are the first one. So it's like the first child always, is always has a special place in the heart. I think Google will be remembered for that. And today's conclave is just not about just getting artificial intelligence hub into Vizag. It is about everybody coming together. I'll share a good news with you. The announcement of Google and Google coming into Vizag has actually triggered a lot of effects on us. In fact, just last week, we cleared a proposal where the chillers for the data centers will now be manufactured in Andhra Pradesh. So, and we are planning for having a capacity of around almost the capacity to actually cool almost 4 to 5 gigawatts of data centers within the states. That's the ripple effect we have because of it. Now we are in conversation with a lot of companies who are interested to come here and manufacture the racks. And we have a lot of investment requests coming in for manufacturing a lot of components that will go into the data centers. Also into green energy production, green energy transmission and all. That is what we are talking about when today we say that the ecosystem means that not only the data centers, but every component that goes into data centers and the end users of the data center that we have. So that is what we are looking at. And Visakhapatnam represents that, and Vizag as a vision we present before you. We heard from Mr. Bikash Kole, Vice President Google Infrastructure. Thanks, sir, for having confidence in us. We're also pleased to welcome Mr. Alexander Smith, who has been there in this journey, long discussions through midnight, different time zones. We did it. In fact, to share you that the one single decision which closed it, we did it sitting in 3 time zones or 4. One in London, one in Australia, one in Tokyo, and one in Delhi. And across all times, I think one in US also. So, you can imagine, what was happening during those 2 hours of conversation, but it happened and it taught us a lot of things to us. So thank you for that. And that's about collaborative partnership. And also Mr. Samir Vora, CEO Adani Connects, who is partner with us, and Shri Vinod Kumar, CEO Nextra by Airtel. We will be working together. Later today, I think you will be hearing from Mr. Shan Mohan about CEO AP Economic Development Board on AP advantage from agriculture in AI to logistics and all that. And then in the second segment today, so navigating an evolving landscape, discussions will be on, the infrastructure that will be powering the AI. We have a panel on connectivity to the compute powering India's AI infrastructure, moderated by Shri Ajay Chatkara, Senior Director Global Infrastructure, with participation from Mr. Ajay Sehgal, Chief Revenue Officer, Jio Infocom Limited, Shri Sumit Walia, President and Chief Revenue Officer, Tata Communications, Shri Somen Roy, CFO, Bharti Airtel, and Shri Ankit Goyal, Founder and Chairman, Consul. We will also be here from Sri Johnson Joes, Senior Director on the intelligence layer, the role of AI in designing data center supply chains and logistics for tomorrow. And over on this, we are also being presenting one more thing, AI applications. Having one data center, the stack is one thing, and having a real live data available to develop applications is crucial. So I offer to you 6 petabytes of data, real data from the state of Andhra Pradesh, on which you can run your applications. So the sky is the limit. The data sets are from agriculture to health to education to basic governance to infrastructure, data on GIS layers, visual intelligence, health data. Everything is available on the table for you to develop applications on that. And since we are having a data lake, all these data sets available for the startups, the companies to come, start experimenting, doing applications, and then testing them out, making them available for the larger population of Andhra Pradesh. And hopefully, these applications will become a common good available for the entire country and beyond, so that, companies, startups can start using them to ensure that a public good is created and, people use it for the public welfare, and also increasing the economy of the state and the country at large. I take this opportunity to thank all. And finally, the sustainability and resilience imperatives will be one discussion which will be moderated by Yolande Lobo. I also take this opportunity to thank her. She was there all along for the last 1.5 years with us. Without you, I don't think this would have happened today. So I acknowledge that from the bottom of our heart for Director Yolande, and if you have harassed you day and night and all, please bear with us. But that's what we do. So more than private sector, we are trained to chase. So we chase because our leadership, our minister and our CM continuously ask us what's happening on a day-to-day basis. So we do that, we chase you because we are also asked what's happening and all. So that's the only thing. And other participants with Yolande would be Sri Venugopal Matkur from Niti Aayog, Srimati Namrata Rana, Partner and National Head ESG KPMG, and Siddharth Sinha from Greenco. So I welcome again all of you to this beautiful city of Vizag. Probably in about a year's time, when we are anticipating that the first set of data center would be ready, operational, and we start developing applications and all. We are also hopeful that by that time, the seeds for the first AI application city, along with the data center, will also be having, not very far from where Google is now starting their operations. We will be also having an AI city where a lot of startups in AI and a lot of companies will come, who will be basically consuming the data center capacity that you are creating. We are also trying to create, clients for you. We are also trying to create, consumers of your data center capacity. Of course, Amravati, we're also creating quantum. That is also going to be one of the large users of the data center capacity that is going to come up here. And today has been really groundbreaking for the city of Vizag. I think this is going to change the face of the city, and through Vizag, Andhra Pradesh, and also the entire country. I thank all of you for coming today here, and I hope all of us go back richer with experience. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Bhaskar, for your insightful remarks, your trust, and we are truly inspired by the roadmap you have shared for the state's technological future. As my colleague Clary was just talking about, the AI Data City initiative represents more than just infrastructure. It represents a commitment to the future of Visakhapatnam's digital economy. In this, we are deeply honored to have continuous support of the Andhra Pradesh government in establishing this data city ecosystem. To lend his voice in this monumental initiative, please join me in welcoming Shri Nara Lokesh for the honorary keynote. Sir, please.
Thank you, Vikas. Thank you to the entire Google team here, the team from Adani and Airtel. Thank you very much for being part of our journey. Namaskaram to everyone. I extend a very warm welcome to our distinguished guests, representatives across industries who are here. Today is not merely a launch of a data center. Today is the beginning of a new chapter in India's digital journey. And it is a truly defining moment for us here in Andhra Pradesh. Visakhapatnam, as we fondly call it, Vizag, is not merely an ordinary city. For decades, it's been a gateway to India. It has connected India's mineral wealth to the world. This city was actually built on steel. And today we are going to transform its entire foundations to being built on the AI revolution. I believe what we are doing here is going to be the future of our great nation. We are standing at a historic turning point. The world is changing from heavy industries to a digital infrastructure, from manufacturing to machine intelligence. And Vizag, again, is evolving in this journey. With the launch of the Google AI Hub, we are witnessing that transformation in real time. India's single largest FDI investment ever, a $15 billion investment into a 1 gigawatt data center ecosystem. It's not incremental growth, but we believe it is a transformational scale for Visakhapatnam. For the first time, Vizag will have a cable landing station. We will be competing with other states in terms of connectivity. And just as ports have connected this great city to the rest of the world, these cable landing stations will digitally connect Visakhapatnam to the rest of the globe. Across the world, from Virginia to Dublin, we have seen the impact that data centers have actually had on the entire ecosystem. So we as a state merely don't look at the data center investment as an investment of $15 billion, but we believe it is an investment to a robust ecosystem, and it's the beginning of that wonderful journey. This investment, we believe, will create close to 200,000 direct and indirect jobs for us here in Visakhapatnam, and new industries will rise around this entire ecosystem. It is not merely a project for us. We as a state look at it as an economic multiplier. Let me say one thing, beyond the data, beyond the numbers, there is one more strength that Vizag has. Its sheer energy, its talent, its spirit. I must share with you that in 2014, we had a cyclone, once in a century cyclone hitting Visakhapatnam. It pretty much uprooted every tree in Visakhapatnam. And the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji came exactly 48 hours later. And people came on the road to cheer him, to welcome him, and he was shocked. I'm here to be with you, to stand with you, but you guys have come out to cheer me. It means a lot. That just shows how resilient this city is. You know, when Mr. Naidu gave a call that Diwali is coming up, please don't burn firecrackers because there's dried leaves and dried trees. It's a fire hazard. Not even one person celebrated Diwali. So that is the spirit of Visakhapatnam. The sense of responsibility, socialness is something that's unmatched. It's a city where young minds aspire, a city where innovation comes natural to us, a city where life and work coexist beautifully. I keep jokingly saying, if Goa and Bangalore would have an offspring, that would be Visakhapatnam. It has best of both worlds. And our vision for Visakhapatnam, Vizag, is very bold. This is our Visakhapatnam economic region. By 2047, this will be India's first $1 trillion economic region. If you've been following the news, exactly a month back, we laid foundation to India's first green steel city, which is being built out by ArcelorMittal. And this is south of Visakhapatnam. So we are doubling down on our steel ecosystem. We are doubling down on our AI and data ecosystem. We are doubling down on our pharma ecosystem. Our entire medical devices manufacturing ecosystem is also coming up in this economic region. And this will be led by AI, clean energy, medical devices manufacturing, and of course, advanced manufacturing. And this is going to be the epicenter for economic growth for a great state of Andhra Pradesh. We have all seen what leadership can actually deliver. All of you have seen the growth of Hyderabad. I still remember when Mr. Naidu announced that we're going to build this one tower. It was called Cyber Tower. It was one round building. That image is still so powerful. It's etched in my mind. It was one building, and around it was just boulders. People laughed at him. People said this is not possible. People said, will computers feed people? But look at how one bold vision with consistency and clarity of thought can deliver. And for those of you who have missed that journey of Hyderabad, this is your redemption time. Visakhapatnam will do better. What took Hyderabad 30 years, we intend to do in the next decade in the great city of Visakhapatnam. You know, with industry, with geography, and with stability of policy, I believe that we can deliver history together and leave a legacy. And that is what really excites us. And as Vikas has shared, we are going through an economic revolution, an industrial revolution. Every industrial revolution has created more jobs than it has displaced. But it has created in geographies where they were ready for it. And India is ready for it, Bharat is ready for it, and Andhra Pradesh is ready for it. That is where we believe in the power of clusterization. So that is why when I met the leadership of Google, and I met even Sundar, and I personally requested that it's very, very important to build the entire ecosystem here. That is the only way we can create an ecosystem that is resilient. So it's not merely about Google building a data center here, but it's about what does it take to build a data center, maintain the data center, and also build the academic rigor that is required to maintain and use this platform as a springboard to grow. And that is what excites us here in Visakhapatnam. You know, saying that our approach is very simple, but yet powerful. It is scale, integration, and self-reliance. Our goal is not just about attracting investments. Our goal is to anchor entire industries. And that is what we are looking at building together here. This is a beginning of a wonderful journey. I would like to thank Google for believing in us, because it does take a leap of faith to invest $15 billion in a city that you would otherwise actually Google. But today, because you've taken that leap of faith on us, it means a lot. And it is no longer your project, it is our project. And together we will deliver this. And to all the industry partners here, once we shake hands, we are not believers of MOUs or bold announcements, but we are firm believers of shaking hands. That is the beginning of our wonderful journey. In fact, we don't have an MOU standing, really speaking, with Google. But we shook hands and said, we'll get this done. That is how we've been working. That is how Andhra Pradesh is able to attract 25% of investments that is being made in India. That is what differentiates us. We intend to ground each and every project. It's no longer about making announcements, and that is what makes it different here in Andhra Pradesh. Once we shake hands, it's no longer your project, it becomes our project. And believe me, on a weekly basis, our team will update you on WhatsApp on the status of your project. And we create WhatsApp groups where your leadership team will be there. A minister, because I represent IT electronics, then my counterpart industries or SME minister. And depending on which ministry you will be engaging with, the minister himself will be on the WhatsApp group, engaging with you directly. Any issue that is not resolved in 24 hours, that group is meant to be used, and we intend to resolve it and ensure that we deliver on our promise of speed of doing business. And that's what differentiates us from rest of India. So for us today here, it's not merely about launching a project, it's a launch of a relationship, a wonderful relationship. Google has played a catalytic role. I was jokingly telling, because till today I had to make outbound calls. And after the date got announced, I started getting inbound calls. And now Bhaskarji has become a very stubborn IAS officer. He's now saying, anyone who wants to invest in the, in a data center has to be clear. It's not going to be a real estate play. You need to show the partners at the under end. The hyperscalers have to be clear and presented. But as a state, we don't let success get to our head. We are a new state. We are very hungry. Think of us like a startup. Because just look at our journey. This is the 4th time we're having to rebuild our state. First, we were part of Madras presidency. Then we were divided linguistically, and Kurnool was made a capital. After a few years, again they brought Telangana and Andhra together and made Hyderabad a capital. 57 years we worked together, developed Hyderabad. Then we got bifurcated again. So we have fire in the belly. We really want to create history. And with all the partners here today, we can do it together. And end of the day, I believe that's what makes it rewarding. That is why youngsters like me have joined politics in Andhra Pradesh. And if you look at our cabinet, 17 out of 25 ministers are first-time ministers. 50% of our legislatures are first-timers. So we bring raw passion, energy to get things done. I wouldn't say it's going to be the perfect journey. Every relationship, every journey has its ups and downs. But we are here to make it as smooth as possible. And as a chair of the group of ministers to create 20 lakh jobs, I'm available to you. I will leave my personal WhatsApp number. Vikas knows how active I am on WhatsApp. Typically by end of the day, I reply to every message that I get. I read every message and we take action on it. With this, I welcome all of you here to the great state of Andhra Pradesh, to Vizag, which now I said Google should pay us some royalty because G is now Google in Vizag. So I'll reach out to Vikas about it separately. But thank you very much. Thank you for coming here. I hope I was able to at least convince you that this is the state that you should invest and build a journey together. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity, and Jai Hind.
Felicitations. Yes. Thank you, sir. 2 minutes लगेगा, sir. Please. So, perfect. So I would like to invite Mr. Bhaskar, Secretary Government of Andhra Pradesh, Bikash, Vice President Google Global Infrastructure, Drew Burns, Director Google Global Infrastructure Asia Pacific, to join our dignitaries on the stage. And our sincere thanks to Honorable Minister Shri Lokesh Naraji for sharing such a compelling vision for the state. We are truly inspired by your commitment for transforming Andhra Pradesh into a global destination for technology and talent. As a gesture of our highest appreciation for gracing this occasion, may I request Bikash to please felicitate Honorable Minister Shri Lokesh Nara. Please. With you, sir. Perfect. May I now request Drew Burns to please felicitate Secretary Mr. Bhaskar. Perfect. Bikash, can you please join them for a group picture? Yes, please. Thank you, gentlemen. We are profoundly grateful to Honorable Minister Shri Lokesh Naraji for his valuable time and for the visionary leadership he shared with us today. As the minister proceeds to his next engagement and takes his leave, we thank him once again for gracing this conclave with his presence. Yes, that's it. Yoland, sir is leaving. Can you please see off, sir? Clear? Can we get the seat very quickly?
In the spirit of partnership, we will now have a panel that will explore the integration of green energy infrastructure, cutting-edge data centers, and international know-hows. The strategic alliance brings the best of US-Indian leadership to develop